All right, and we are live. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. My name is Justin Hammond. I'm the Recruitment Assistant Director for the College of Health and Human Sciences. Joining to me tonight, we have another member of our recruitment team, Kristen, and we also have a student in the Nutrition Science Department, Morgan. Morgan, can you go ahead and introduce yourself? What's your major? Any other fun facts that you want to throw out?
So my name's Morgan. As Justin was saying, I am a junior in nutrition science right now. And a fun fact, I guess, about me is I'm from Texas. I think it's a fun fact.
Mostly have Indiana students around here. All right. Tonight we have several topics lined up. However, if at any time you have any questions, go ahead and enter them in the chat. I'll be monitoring the chat throughout the stream. Any questions that I don't get to, I'll try answering after. If not, I'll do my best to reply to you via email. So we will go ahead and jump right in. Morgan, the first question for you is, what are classes like?
So classes vary. Your first year, you're probably going to be in more general classes. In nutrition, you have to take all the general science classes, so general chemistry and biology, and then you get into more focused classes like organic chemistry and anatomy. Usually your first year classes are going to be probably slightly larger just because you have a lot more people that need to take those prerequisite classes for more specific classes. And then as you move throughout your years, you're going to get in a lot smaller classes, more nutrition focused.
Yeah, and just to give you guys a couple numbers on that, so the average class size at Purdue is 31 students, so on the smaller side, pretty similar to high school. Just for some other numbers, 87% of our classes are under 50 students, and 41% are under 20 students. So, like Morgan said, you're going from large classes to smaller classes.
And I mean, overall, the nutrition science department is relatively small compared to some other departments in the university. So you kind of get the pros of being at a big university. You have big university resources, but you still get that smaller individualized attention, especially within this major. So speaking of individualized attention, a question that we have is, are professors accessible, or am I just like another student in the crowd?
So you definitely are not just a number in the classroom. One of my classes today, actually, my professor called out my name to answer a question. So it was a class, there's probably about 40 people in there, and she just knew my name because whenever you're in nutrition classes, like Justin was saying, the department is pretty small, so all the professors make an effort to know the names of their students. You're probably going to have the same professors a few times in your classes. And definitely just make an effort to get to know your professors because there's an incredible faculty here at Purdue. And you can do that through things like office hours, which every professor here at Purdue does have office hours where they set aside time for students to come and ask questions about their course, ask questions about what the professor is interested for their research, or just career advice on what to do next.
Yeah. And a flip side of that is when you have those small classes and the professors know your name, you better show up to class. Because if you don't, you're going to get an email, hey, Morgan, where were you? Sorry, did you want to say something?
Oh, just that office hours are a great resource. So think of it as the professor, the faculty member is sitting there in their office. They're waiting for students to show up. They've booked out this time in their schedule. They're probably not really working on other projects because usually they'll have maybe just an hour or two for office hours. So they really have it blocked out for you. And these are the people who are grading you on your exams and on your assignments. So if you're wanting advice on that, they're only going to give you what they really want you to do. So really it's like a gold mine of information that students don't always utilize. So definitely utilize that.
Yeah. Another question I get a lot are, what are recitations? That's a term a lot of high school students haven't heard. Can you tell us a little bit about what a recitation is like in college?
So a recitation is basically like a practice. Usually they're held by a TA, which is a teaching assistant, and that can either be an undergraduate student or a graduate student, someone that's working in that field to get more professional degrees such as a PhD. And so they completely understand the information. And a lot of times my recitations, we've gotten like worksheets. So you're practicing that information that you learned in lecture over the week. And you're getting time to ask questions, work with your peers, and just kind of figure out what did you actually learn and can you apply that information.
All right. Next question that I have coming in. Have you done any research?
Yeah, so my summer after my freshman year, I did a study abroad. That was actually a research-focused study abroad.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So I went to Florence, Italy for 7 weeks. And it was an incredible location to do a lot of really hard work. The views made it pay off. But I got a ton of experience. So we did it was research on women's health, so their sexual and reproductive health. And this is an area that they didn't really have much research. So when we were recruiting participants to interview, it was more like, what is this? And it's just something here at a research-based institution. It's so common here. Like we see like flyers all over campus of get in this research study, try this, and it's really to help out your professors, find out new data. But these communities just didn't really have that. So after a week of traveling throughout Italy, experiencing about the culture, we interviewed women, and then we did everything from coding the data to putting it all in a transcript, and we did everything. And then later on that year, I participated in the undergraduate research poster presentation. So I put everything that I learned over those few weeks into a poster and was able to present it to people at the school. So we had a bunch of different professors that come around for those poster conferences here at Purdue. And it's a really great experience to get like that whole professionalism while still at an undergraduate level. So I was presenting it my sophomore year, so it was pretty intimidating, honestly. But it was a really great experience, and I love Italy. I want to go back.
Important question. Did you have to speak Italian to go there?
No. I know absolutely no Italian. I was there for 7 weeks, so I learned how to get by. I learned how to order an espresso at a cafe.
The importance.
The important parts. But we had like a translator that was able to kind of like help us around. Of course, knowing Italian makes it a little bit easier to get around, but it's okay. You don't need it. You don't need to know a foreign language to go anywhere.
Yeah, I know a lot of students right now, you're like, research? That seems like something really far off, but there's a lot of opportunities for students to get started as undergraduates doing research. And, not only is it a fantastic experience, but you're also building those relationships with the faculty members. So I'm sure when it comes time to applying for graduate schools, then you have awesome letters of recommendation of faculty that you've actually done research with, when other students, they might just say, oh, Jane Doe got an A in my class, kind of thing. So it's really important to kind of get those experiences. And, at Purdue, there's a lot of opportunities. So you can do it within the nutrition science department, but you're not necessarily limited to that. So you can do research all across the institution, regardless of what your major is. And then also for study abroads, we do have many programs associated with our college too. But actually at Purdue, there's over 400 study abroad programs. And like you said, a lot of them you don't have to know the foreign language to go there. So plenty of opportunities. I know it seems like it's far ahead, but trust me, it'll be here before you know it. And it's good to start planning about that right now. So let's see. Our next question that we have, what are your plans after graduation? Since we were talking about, graduate school and stuff, what are you doing?
So about a month ago, I just got accepted into Purdue's accelerated MPH program, which is a Master's in Public Health. So my senior year, I'll be doing half undergraduate courses and half graduate courses. So I'll be able to, in 5 years instead of 6, have an undergraduate degree and my master's degree. And then I plan on using my master's in public health to do more global health work and combine it with my undergraduate nutrition experiences to find ways to do preventative care, especially through nutrition.
Cool. And I also know that you're a member of the honors program within nutrition science, correct?
Yes.
Can you tell us what that is?
Yeah.
How do you get involved? What does all that look like?
So, nutrition science has a departmental honors program, which is different than the university's honors. And the difference is pretty much you just don't take honors courses, but you still graduate with the departmental honors. And you do it through a research project. So this research project was different than my one that I did in Italy. And what happens is usually about your sophomore year, you express that you have interest in this departmental honors, and you find a faculty member within the department that is willing to take you under to do a research project. And mine actually is a really great experience. I've worked with phenomenal people actually across the globe. Half of my research team is in Tanzania. And it's just a really incredible experience to see different perspectives. So I was able to kind of formulate my own research question and do like a subarm to a study. And right now we're in data collection mode. And I am going to a research conference this summer in Baltimore. And a really cool thing about the college as well is there is HHS travel grants for research conferences, so you don't really have to worry about trying to find your own funding to go and get all this professional networking experiences. The college really does want to help you out with that because we're a research college. We really value and understand the importance that it has, even if you don't want to go into research. Like I said, I wanted to do global nutrition. And yeah, a whole arm of that is under research, but I want to do more of the preventable care. So this is kind of just like a really great experience for me to learn how to come up with something from absolutely nothing and prepare it all together to get it into something that's hopefully going to be really good and make a difference for a lot of people.
All right, excellent. So one decision that our students need to make here pretty soon is if they want to apply for a learning community. That application is due May 5th, by the way. You also need a housing application on file to apply. But Kristen, can you go ahead and kind of explain what is a learning community here at Purdue?
Yeah, learning communities are basically, they take a group of students. You would apply to a learning community that had to do with something in your interest. So that might just be you have an interest in an area like, literature. Or maybe you are actually majoring in English and you join a literature learning community. So it could be based on interest or your academic area. Sometimes they are limited based on what you're studying or what college you're in. So for example, there's a bunch that are limited to the College of Health and Human Sciences. There are others, like one for nutrition students. So they can be limited in different ways. And basically they take those students with the same interests and give them just a lot of opportunities, a lot of kind of out-of-class experiences. You might go on a field trip. You might have fun social things like a movie night. You might get different opportunities to mingle with professors. So one is professors and pastries. You get to just kind of, have a networking event, have some good food. They'll do all kinds of different things. They'll do panels, things like that, maybe like a graduate school panel. So those are opportunities that not every student gets, but you would get them as part of the learning community. They often have a living component, so they would put all the students in a residence hall on the same floor, and you would get to probably have a roommate in your same area of interest or your same major. So it's a really easy way to meet students in your area of study. And also, if you wanted to, grab students for a study group, that's a great group to have, right outside your door, studying the same thing as you. And often they will also pair the learning communities with a course, so like maybe a section of a biology course, so you know that you're going to be seeing those students every week in class as well. Even easier to make a study group. So there's just a lot of pros to joining a learning community.
And Morgan, were you a part of a learning community?
Yeah, so I was a part of the nutrition learning community my freshman year. And I just remember one great memory. It was at the beginning of the year, so I think it was like around October because it was still fall, nice weather. And we got to go like apple picking, and it was just a lot of fun. I got to bond with a lot of people that were in the nutrition department. Just because, like I said, your freshman classes are typically going to be a little bit larger. They're going to have probably more people from various majors, so it kind of let me know who was in my major and make those bonds because now I'm in classes with all the same people.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing all of that. We are actually out of time already. I know that just flew on by. So we're going to go ahead and end the stream. However, I'll stick around for a few minutes after. If you do have any, can't talk. If you have any additional questions, go ahead and put those in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you once again, Kristen and Morgan, for coming out tonight. I really appreciate that. Have a good night, everyone, and boiler up.